Welcome back. It is day 302 of a road to 2200, and we're at 2061. Now, if you didn't watch yesterday's video, we are changing it up. We're playing 15 plus 10 for the foreseeable future. So we found somebody who is 2022, and they're playing e4, so we're going to play a Karo Khan, and we actually have one win against this opponent. So maybe we can get another one, and we have an exchange Karo Khan with knight in. So if I go here, the bishop's going to give me a check. I should be able to just block, though. I mean, this is typically not... Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, I don't think. But they want check. So knight out, check. If I go here, then bishop takes, knight takes, and then I can just play for... I could play e5, but I can also just play e6, keep everything on the light squares. So let's just go ahead and develop. Okay, instead they go here, so I guess... What are they trying to do? I mean, I could stop the check, but do I need to? I can also just develop my knights. Takes, pawn takes, could be annoying though. I mean, this shouldn't be that great, but I'm also struggling to figure out how I should try and take advantage of this knight. I don't think the knight should be there. But at the same time, I mean, they might try to play for like f4 and just really cement the knight in. Here, bishop here. I have to play this. Okay, let's develop our knight. They're going to pin me, and I'll just play bishop d7. Yeah, bishop d7 has to be played. If they take, then queen takes. We're fine in this position. It's not the best, but now there is a threat to take. And we would take back with the knight. So it's kind of forcing them to respond. Yeah. Queen takes, we walk into a pin, but there's no way for them to take advantage of this pin right now. And I'll just play a simple e6, keep everything nice and solid. This is just a normal exchange Karo Khan at this point. Get the bishop out, the castle, and then I'll probably deal with the pin. Maybe they're trying to play something like this, but that's going to take them 2 moves. So I will be a-okay going there. Yeah, exactly. So now I think bishop or queen c7, knight in, I can take. Queen c7 takes, we can always just take. So let's just get out of this gnarly pin. And also stop something from showing up here, and I'll castle and play a6, b5. I think I should castle though first. And what we know about the Karo Khan is we want the minority attack. Our play is here on this queen side. So that is what we're going to go for. Okay, I kind of expected them to do that, but I can just kind of move my knight to a better square. And now I'm going to deal with this bishop. The question is, after takes, do I want to go here? Okay, so they're attacking my knight. I actually think f5 is the best move here. Because we don't want to allow them to damage my pawn structure, but if I play f5, then I can take with the pawn, opening up my rook. So I'm going to protect. It does weaken this square quite a lot, which is what we need to be careful of, but there's no way for them to really take advantage of it at the moment. Yeah, I mean, I'm taking this way because I want to open up my rook. And also we're taking towards the center, so traditional wisdom says that that is the best way. We can take a free pawn. There's a fork here, however, so do want to be a little bit careful. I can probably just bring my rook and protect the pawn. Queen in. I mean, I just play some sort of h6 here. And then the knight's only got this square, so We're still threatening to take a free pawn. They might tempo me. Or offer a trade, protecting their pawn, which would make sense. Now, in the last position, if I took, they went here and then brought my rook. They can play g3 and my bishop gets trapped. So, not quite something I wanted to do. But if you were listening, I did say I wanted my play on the queen side. However, now, I mean, I have all of this pointing over here, so I think I might want to switch up my plan. I mean, rotate the knight to this square could be good. I mean, b5, b4 is never going away. Yeah, so they do this, which makes a lot of sense. I don't have to take, though. To take is usually a mistake. If I go here, they can take, so we can't rote the knight yet. If I go here, is that too weakening? Is the next question. I gotta be careful. Knight here, here. I should be able to, let's just get the knight out. The knight has been up in my business this entire game. I want it gone. If they had a knight here, now they got a knight here. Get out of my position. I mean, our position is clearly better. They're going to have to be really, really passive using their knight. They can, of course, trade first, but the knight doesn't really have a good square to go to. So I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, the knight has to go all the way back there, which is very, very ugly. And now, I mean, I can start trying to route my knight into a better square. Which is probably what I should do. I could play for the minority attack still, but I'm not so sure if that's what I should play for. I think I need to get my pieces into the game. So I'm going to start routing my knight to f5. I'm never worried about them taking. I don't want to take opening up the rook, although they might not even take that way. They might take this way. Also, it's still just restricting their knight. And I might be threatening to play knight f5 and just outright get the bishop for the knights, which would be very, very nice. We have a very nice clamp on their position. Nice battery. I can start trying to play like rook f6 and maybe some rook lifts here, or even just doubling up the rooks. Once again, I mean, this is the weak point in my position, so I just need to protect it. They don't really have a great way of, you know, putting pressure on it, because I'm just going to blockade here. Okay, they improve their queen. Fair enough. Let's put our knight on the square that we were going to go to. And now I imagine they're going to take. And after takes, I'm going to probably play for b5, b4. Although I don't know. I don't know if that's what I should do or not. It feels right, but I'm not 100% sure. Okay, they just bring the rook, so they're giving me the bishop. Which doesn't feel correct. I mean, I'm going to take that. We have, look at this pressure. Looks very, very nice. And we'll 100% take that. And they take that way. Okay, so they're taking towards the king. Or towards the outside of the board. Now we have a pass pawn. So if we get to trade into an endgame, it should be better. Their knight also is... It can probably go here at some point, but... I mean, I can trade. Takes, rook here. If rook takes, king takes, check. I can block, queen takes. I mean, I have this pass pawn, which should just be very, very strong. I think I should be able to just trade into an endgame here. King takes. If check, I will block with the queen. And we might even have ideas of pushing this pawn. Just trying to open up this diagonal. Okay, but instead they're trying to attack my weakness. Very, very understandable. We're going to bring our queen over. We protect. What I'm solely playing on is that this passed pawn is going to win me the game. It might not. It might. Who knows? If they ever push, I cannot take that, though. Yeah. So what did I say? Because I want to go here. And I want to go push. So maybe I play this. Taking is terrible. I could even consider playing this, trying to put some pressure on to this pawn. They can go back and protect it. And then I could probably just play like this kind of stuff. Yeah, let's start putting pressure on this. They can't really do anything first because I take with check. And then maybe I just activate my king also. Yeah, queen goes back. They protect the pawn. If I push, I think they can go here, which I don't love. Now I'm going to go b5 or b6, stopping any c5 business. We don't want that to get cemented in there. That'd be bad. And I need to play, I think, maybe for e5 at some moment. But e5, there's takes. But then takes. So e5. DE, queen takes. Probably a good move. Cement that bishop in there. Oh yeah, I definitely go here. Takes. No, but then this pawn's going to hang. So here. Yeah, that's an issue. Maybe I just step up and protect the pawn. Can also push my pawn at some moment if I want. But that's just going to help the knight get to better squares. So we don't want to do that. I'm trying to figure out how I can put more pressure on this piece. Because as soon as I move, they can just push, I think. I don't know if this is a good reroute or not. Knight, bishop here. What are they playing? Like what can they even do? Tempo my queen. I can just step up. She takes. Yeah, I think should be fine. Let's try to reroute our bishop to this diagonal. I mean, we got to take advantage of the fact that they played FG instead of HG. Which I think putting this bishop on this diagonal is the way to do it. Don't think taking's ever a good move. Also, taking now just weakens this pawn tremendously. If they take me, I'm happy. If they push, I'm also just very happy getting this kind of cemented in there. I do give them a pass pawn, though, in doing so. However, I can immediately pin and put pressure. Also takes... Here, we win this pawn if we want it. So, I mean, I'm pretty happy with this position. And I should be winning, I think, as long as I can protect everything. Queen comes in, attacking this. If I take, they take. takes. I would have bishop here. So I can actually sacrifice both of these pawns if they want to go for queen a4. Queen a4, queen takes. I take the pawn. Okay, but they just take there. Okay, we have to take back, of course. Now we have just a protected pass pawn, 3 squares away from queening. Is there a difference in this variation? Queen in. There is, because now I can't take the pawn. However, I also have something open up. So if queen in, I can play b5, protecting the pawn, also making room for the bishop to go to a7 while protecting my a6 pawn. My king's also able to get to the center faster than my opponents, which is very nice. And I would argue that they have more weakness than I do, because this pawn is a huge liability for my opponents. And after this pawn is gone, I have 2 connected pass pawns. Also, this video is probably coming out after I played my Over the Board tournament, but be on the lookout for an Over the Board recap. Okay, so knight in, that's an obvious, it's an obvious threat. Queen is hanging. Kinds of checks possible. I would like to keep pressure on the pawn, but I can't do it. I can maybe play queen over here. Check. King g8. I mean, queen's coming in maybe. Well, then I have checks. I don't think there's any need to play queen g6. Maybe they're trying to go here. So maybe I should play queen e6. Because if I go here, then they can jump in and takes. How do they protect the pawn after queen e6? I don't think you can. Maybe getting behind the pass pawn, though, makes a lot more sense. And also just makes the queen have to protect the knight. So maybe, queen e6, I think, is probably the way. Let's play queen e6. Still with the intention of putting the bishop on this really long diagonal. Check. I mean, I was going to just play back. King here. Oh, the pawn is hanging. Oh, I missed the fork. Oh, no. Oh, shoot. I mean, okay. I guess we're losing a pawn. Push the pawn. I guess then they can go back. Okay, but first they blockade. I don't know how perfect that is. Although that's actually quite nice by my opponent, I must say. Now I'm going to push this pawn. We protect and also just open up the bishop here. They're putting pressure on this, which I don't love. Yeah, but now I'm going to activate my bishop. I mean, here, I don't know. I think this is going to become too much of a liability now. They should have just took the pawn, in my opinion. Here. Okay, I should be able to attack the pawn again. If they protect it. Wait, if I go here, is there some kind of check? No. Here. takes, I can just take this way. Let's put pressure. Queen here, I can play... Oh, whoa. Walking into a pin is crazy. Here, g6 takes a check. We're actually going to lose. I can push the pawn, though. And then they just protect. And then they get damaged. Then they get doubled pawns. Well, no, it doesn't matter. They can just take. I guess I can step the king up. Trying to play this. And then there's no checks using the knight. So, king h7. Our king's not active at all, but g6 and we win this pawn. And, well, it would be a pin. So that'd be very, very not good for my opponent. Knight back. I can take. Or even knight back. I can take. I don't know. Their king would be active, so maybe not. Okay, so the queen gets out of the way, of course. So if I go here, now there's this attack. And they're still protecting. Wow. Opponent's playing a really nice game right now. Should just put more pressure then. Or I could play here. Because now they can't take. So I go here, push, takes. Not queen up, queen here. Putting pressure on this. Push, I just take. Yeah, I should be able to play h5. They're obviously going to go here. We have to take that. And now I kind of need to figure out, like, where are we going? Could go here and try to push the pawn. No. You take. Like, obviously our position is just better. Obviously. How do I win, though? I need to play this. I could also play here, because they are kind of threatening to push the pawn. Here gives them an ultra knight, though I don't love that. Then maybe I can play like this. Maybe they're going to be able to support that move. I think I need to reroute my knight, or my bishop, though. Do I need to play this first, though? Bishop back, they push. They can't push. So let's bring our bishop back. Bishop's... I mean, it looked really nice here, but I don't think I can achieve anything else. Queen comes up. And now, here they're going to push. Do I boldly walk forward? Is the next question. And try to play here. I think I need to bring my king forward. It's very scary, but king forward and maybe trying to play queen g5. We need to break through. It's just very, very hard to do. What is the idea behind that? I mean, I can go here. We're threatening to give it checkmate. No checks by the opponent. Oh, there is a check here, actually. But I can protect it using this. That's checkmate in 1, by the way. So let's go ahead and just protect. Now, if my opponent's not careful, they're going to get themselves into some trouble here. But we always have to be careful of this check. It's pretty scary, though. I mean, our king is pretty vulnerable. I allowed my opponent probably too much counterplay. But this bishop is really strong. The bishop, but the knight is also really, really strong, too, by the way. Check isn't possible. Where is it? Takes, check. King moves. Should be okay. Just king here. I mean, it's unpleasant, but there's no... They're not winning a piece or anything. Yeah, the knight goes back. Now I think I should be able to go here now, though. Threatening to take this. This threat is stopped. So bishop here. I don't see a way for you to stop me from taking the pawn now. Knight back, there would be check. So now I think we try to take advantage of the weakness again. Knight back, check. If king up, do I have check? They would push and then we can take the knight with check. Yeah, so now they're getting themselves into some trouble with this weakness. We're starting to break through. Because if they let me take, this is pinned and then we can trade everything and we'll be in a winning endgame with 2 passed pawns. And a better pawn structure. These are like they have 2 pawns here versus 1, but it's basically just 1-on-1. And then if this pawn is gone, we have 2 versus 0, and then 2-on-2. So I'm gonna do a little bit of maneuvering there, but it is coming forward. They can check king here and then takes. It's probably one of their better moves. And just play bishop versus knight with a strong pawn, but this is very easily blunderable. Actually, check takes, king takes, knight takes, pawn, or takes with check. I get 2 pawn. Yeah, they're going for this. Okay. They're going to take this pawn, and then I'm going to take here. And I mean, it's still winning for the black pieces, but it's a lot harder. You have to take. Check. And then I'm going to just take this, and now we're up 2 pawns. They're immediately getting counterplay, so I'm going to be attacking this pawn. I mean, push. They take. Bishop here. Should be fine. And then I can always push and put the bishop on this square. So let's play b4. Bishop c3. Protect. Right here we push. And then we have these pawns all protected. Push. And then I need to get my king up into the position. Everything's protected. Knight here. King up. Oh, they go for this. That's actually a very good move. Here, push. I need to get my king more active. Here they can't give me a check. So I just play king here. It takes I promote now. So I just need to get my king up here. I have a pawn that is protected that is 2 squares away from promoting. Check, I can play king f6. Attack this while protecting the pawn. Knight here, I have king e5. And I should be able to just walk in. Or at least try, or go win this pawn or something. We have 5 minutes on the clock. Okay. See that. I can act. No, I can't. Let's not do that. So king up should be the move. King up. If they attack my pawn, can I go king here? Takes. King here. Push. King here. Push. Takes. Push. Push. Knight has to move. Push. Here. Promotes. Promotes. Should be winning. It's kind of a little bit gnarly, but let's go for it. I mean, maybe knight here push could be the way. Just really try to blockade the pawn a little bit. But allowing my king to come over here, I don't think is a good idea. Knight here, maybe I can even play g5. Because then they can't come back. And it takes them a few moves before they can attack the pawn again. Might give me just enough time to get over here. So knight there. Yeah, but now I'm just coming forward. My king's just coming in. I think they needed to go for the pawn and then try to create counterplay. But allowing my king over here is just not going to be the way. Because the king has to be 2 squares away, or like protecting this. You can't take this either. Okay, they go back there. Now, just king coming in. King here, walk in. I mean, we're totally fine. Let's go ahead and bring our king in. Walk it up. Take the pawn. I mean, it takes a couple moves, but we should be fine. No, they can't sacrifice either. It'd be nice if I could just play king to b2, but we can't. Although maybe after... If g4, can I play g5? Kind of putting my opponent into a bad move. They move the knight, and then I can play king b2. Knight f7, king takes, knight g5, b5, or b3. Yeah, that should be totally winning. Okay, yeah, g5. We just calculated it. Now my opponent's in a bad position. If they push the pawn, we take it. If they move the knight, we play king to b2. If they move the king, I take the knight. Zugzwang, I think is how you pronounce it. I probably butchered it, but... Yeah, knight goes there. So they're trying to go after the pawn, of course. But now I can play king here. And you can get this pawn, but I win this, and I'm 3 squares away. And it's going to take you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 moves. And if a4, we have the magical en passant. Yep, here it is. We take, and we push the pawn. Right. Well, we should actually calculate this. No, there's no way for them to protect this square. So I'm just 2 squares away. I'm just gonna queen. You cannot stop the pawn because I would take your knight. We might see a resignation here soon, but if not, we'll play it through, of course. I mean, I don't think there's any magical defense here, right? Because there is forking ideas here, but we always just take with the bishop, so I don't think there's anything. Yeah, my opponent just resigns. Okay, beautiful. We got a nice win here. I think I'm pretty happy with how I played this game, to be honest. We played with an 84.9, opponent played with a 79. We basically gave them no chances ever except to draw the game, which is very nice. So let's take a look at this. We got an exchange Caro-Kann. Now, 95 is kind of just weird, but it makes sense. I mean, we played all the right moves here. We should kick the bishop first, but we don't, and then we just have a normal setup here. I played queen c7 because I didn't want the knight to come in with some tempo. We could have just castled allowing it, but we just did it in a different move order. I thought the bishop g5 just wasn't right because there's no pin, so I can just move the knight immediately. And then after the bishop attacks, we play f5, just cementing the knight in, and we have it in an ultra nice position. And taking is a mistake. But here we should play rook to f5. And if they take, I take this pawn here and play queen up. Because now the knight is attacked. And if they sacrifice, we take. And then if this, rook f3? What about king takes? We just double up and apparently we're better. Yeah, ain't no way. I would probably sack. Although this is going to be bad, I would say. Pawn takes? Yeah, pawn takes is better. And then we go here protecting. Okay. Apparently that's good for the white or for the black pieces, so. Yeah, knight back. We're just making their pieces so bad. And then here we traded because I thought that I have I thought I had an advantage if we go into an endgame, and I'm correct. However, it's like, how do I make progress? Apparently I'm supposed to take here, and then they're supposed to play this endgame. That would be ludicrous. But instead, we didn't take the pawn because I didn't want to double my pawns, and then here we can actually kick the knight. What if the knight goes here? It blockades. If here, I push the pawn again, queen takes, and take the pawn. I just couldn't find out how to take advantage of their weakness in the center of the board, but yeah, here also, after this, I don't quite know why my opponent... Oh, they didn't take the pawn because the knight hangs, duh. Okay, this is not good, and then found the right idea, h5 takes... h5... Wait, what? Apparently they just have nothing here. Their knight is attacked, but there's a pin. Back, king up is bad. We needed to allow the check and say there's nothing here. Not easy to do. But yeah, also key to note that if you make a wrong move, good game. So we didn't blunder that. But okay, go back. Queen in. I thought that this is probably their best way to continue the game. Takes, and then just try to at least create some problems here. But we did the best thing that we could. Although apparently this is drawing. If they play knight here, king here, can they take? Yeah, they can take. Why did I think that they couldn't take? Okay. Yeah, they could have just got the pawn back. Still tricky though. Endgames are hard. And then here we just walk our king in and there's nothing to do. GG. Good game. Yeah. I'm pretty happy with the play. I mean, we didn't really give my opponent any massive chances just to draw the game, so you know, that's a win. That's a win in my books. And if you enjoyed the video, drop a like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow.